What is shaking out there? What's going on? Studio 104 is live and back with you doing the weekly update. JT here in the studio. Got another show for you. More stuff going on here in the world. People already tuning in. That's cool. John Feuerborn. Easy for me to say, right, John? Good to have you back on the show, buddy. Man, you know, I'm sitting here today. I'm in a really comfortable spot right now, okay, and I feel bad for it because my friends, your friends, our friends, and that's a whole nother thing you got to explain. There's a friend of mine and a friend of ours, right? You guys get that? Some of you Goodfellas reference there. Our friends Dan and Shan are on standby evac right now at their California mountain residence down in the foothills of the Sequoia Park area up above Fresno. So basically, in a place where there's some fires going on, and they are packed up literally, with the cars pointing out the driveway, ready to go, with no power, by the way, for 2 days, and um since Monday, 3 days. Yeah, since Monday, I think, if I'm correct, and it's not for sure yet that they're going to have to evac out, but they're ready for it in case it happens. You guys want to get more info on what's going on down in that area? Just pull up the app, Fire Map app on your phone or device, and get an idea what's burning in California that time of year. And up here in Oregon, it could happen too. And in fact, I'm a little bit concerned now that I'm looking at my weather station. It's 69 degrees outside. It's warmer inside right now than outside, and that's not good because it's also very humid. Cloud cover's coming in, and um, the storm that they got that caused the fires down there may be making its way up here. And I pray to God that's not going to happen because what they're going through down there is very same thing could very easily happen up here in southern Oregon, and it's in all likelihood it could. I mean, that's what caused the big fires last year, and we had nothing but smoke and and I mean tons and tons and tons of smoke trapped in the Josephine County area and in the valleys and the forest. It was really, really nasty. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen up here. But that's what happened to them down there. They had some ridiculous amount of lightning strikes, and several fires got lit. And it seems that they're kind of surrounded by them and waiting to find out if they're going to evac or not, or have to or not. And Dan just mentioned now his fingers are crossed that the power could be coming on very soon. And let's pray for that because that gives a little more opportunity to stick around, at least comfortably, and not sitting there in the sun and hot air and the fan blowing on you, and that's all. And not to mention, they've got one small generator to try to sustain them, keep a freezer going so they don't lose all their food. There's a lot that goes on when this happens, especially if you're a well-equipped home that has, like I do. I've got two refrigerators. They've got two refrigerators and a freezer, I think. So, and that comes from entertaining guests and having large families and all that kind of stuff. And, you got all that food and stuff in there and it's going to go bad. So, hopefully that is not the case. And Dan and Shan, everybody will be praying for you guys and everybody else down there in that area that the fires will get burnt out and you guys can stay home and not have to evac and things will turn around. You guys will be safe down there. A lot of things happened here in the last week or so. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to Wade Jennings from last week. If you guys weren't here, didn't watch the show last week live, haven't watched the playback, definitely go and check it out and watch the playback. And watch the interview with Wade Jennings. And again, Wade Jennings, country artist. He's been around for a while. Uh, of course, related grandson of Waylon Jennings. Shooter Jennings, that's his uncle. You guys check him out and check the videos. We shared some videos and had a real good time. Real nice guy. Fun meeting him, getting to talk to him, and I wish him well. He also, some of you might already know who I'm talking about because he played large cars and guitars with Tony Justice this last show. So you guys got a look into what he's all about and his music is like there at the show. So who knows? Maybe sometime we'll get to have him show up at one of our shows, the two shows that that we are involved in and putting on. One of them, of course, Trucking for Kids, and the upcoming show, and I'll talk about it here in a minute, and that's the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo. First, I want to say thanks and get you guys tuned in to this week's sponsor. We're supported by him, and that is, of course, Mario's High Performance Diesel and Alberta Diesel Day. Let me take this stuff out of the way here so you guys can see everything that's there in the flyer. Just talked to Mario today. The event is on. He already has thousands, check this out, thousands of pre-sale tickets for spectators, expecting around 15,000 people in Alberta this weekend for the show. The show is going to be inclusive of, and you guys know all these people, all the usual suspects that run down in Irwindale and all over with Mario, and I mean, go to their social media pages and you're going to see everybody that's going to be there. But it's the usual suspects, drag racing, Class 8 trucks, pickup trucks, anything diesel basically is going to be drag racing. They've got a dyno competition that they're going to be doing. And those can be kind of interesting. In fact, I was going to talk to our man Dan about possibly seeing if we can't put something like that together down at the Trucker Rodeo and get a dyno competition going, man. I'll tell you what, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that love to put their truck up on there and find out what it's got. I've seen some bad things happen at those kind of deals, and I've seen nothing happen. Just good competition. The guys find out who's got the highest rated truck, horsepower, and torque, and everybody has a good time. But I've seen it go the other way too. So anyway, this weekend, and it's $40 per ticket, and that's in Alberta, Canada. So if you're not on your way up there yet, have a safe drive when you get on the road and make your way up there. Say hello to Mario for us from all of us at 10-4 and Studio 10-4 Live. He's excited about it. Can't wait to put this thing on. It is one day and one day only. And that is, of course, I think it's on here the 29th. Make sure I get that June 29th. And I believe that's Saturday. So get up there, check it out, and support Mario and his guys. They're putting this whole thing on, and it's exciting to have something like that going on up north. And the rumor is that it's going to make its way south next year. So he's going to move it around. It's going to be a new competition. We'll see what happens if that works out, and it depends probably a lot on this weekend and how the show goes up there this weekend. But stay tuned. That's all I can tell you. Now, let's talk a little bit about 10-4 and the Trucker Rodeo and show that's going to be happening at the Kevin Harvick Kern Raceway down in Bakersfield, California. It's coming up. The 2nd and 3rd of November are the actual show days. We are going to have possession of the track on Friday the 1st. That way everybody can get in, get parked, get set up, and that means trucks, RVs, vendors, anybody that's going to be there over the weekend and needs to be stationary and have their setup, then get in there on Friday. Take a minute. Hey, James, I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Jamie's back, and looks like a few of the others are here. Dougie's in the house. Jeff Patello, nice to see you. Miss Shannon in there, probably real close to Dan and hanging on to each other, listening and watching the show tonight. Again, if you guys hadn't heard, and some of you just like Jamie just tuned in, Dan and Shan are on standby evac down there at their house, waiting to find out what's going to happen. And last I heard, the dozer lines are currently holding from Dan. We don't know yet, so keep fingers crossed, prayers said, and let's hope for the best. So in November 2nd, 3rd, you guys want to be there and ready to go. So you're going to want to get in on the 1st, and first thing Saturday morning, we're going to get this show rolling. Competitions are going to start. Hay squeeze, uh, backing contest, transfer dump contests, wrecker contests. We've got a lot of different things that we've incorporated into this show and shine competition, of course. I haven't mentioned this to Dan. I think we ought to do a shiny hiney. I want to make that my award that we give to the winner of that. That's part of the deal, I think, where the shiniest hiney out there gets the shiny hiney award, man. I think we need to do one of those. And again, the dyno contest, hadn't even thought of that until I talked to Mario up at Mario High Performance Diesel, and he said they were doing that this weekend at their show. So I think that's pretty cool. A lot of different stuff going on, and if you want to find out anything, get a hold of any of us, Dan, me. If you want to be a vendor, get a hold of Dan and Shan. You can get a hold of me too. I can help you out. If you want to be a sponsor, we are looking for you. And here's something that is really cool. We haven't got it locked in yet, but there are luxury suites at this facility. And we toured them a couple of weeks ago when I was down there visiting Dan and Shan, and we made a trip down south to visit them and go to the track and check all the facilities out. There are luxury suites. These luxury suites are air conditioned. They have couches and chairs and bars and food and drinks and monitors. I mean, some are more luxurious than others and bigger than others. There's different sized ones. Some are more equipped than others too, because they are year-round suites that sponsors buy for the entire year to host their people. We are going to work out something so we can make sponsor hospitality suites available to our sponsors. This will be for our premier sponsors, the guys that are, part of that categorically, and not as part of their sponsor fee, because these things they're not cheap. There will be a fee attached to it. And I'm assuming, we haven't confirmed, but I'm assuming that if we can do this, if you call me and say, "Hey, John, I want a luxury suite and I want to host, my friends and family and everybody at the 10-4 Trucker Rodeo," and you're not a sponsor, but you want to get a suite, I'm sure we can accommodate. Not entirely sure on how many we have available. I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 14, 13, 12, 13, 14, somewhere like that. Not sure, but this would be a one-day experience for all the food. I'm thinking Sunday it'll be open to you, if this is part of our agreement with our facility, that the suites can be open again on Sunday and just have beverages in them, but no food. So Saturday would be the party day, man. And I looked at the menu, and we're talking. They have a huge on-site barbecue setup smoker that they have a guy come in who runs it, and they do all kinds of tri-tip, ribs, chicken. The menu that I looked at, it was inclusive of tri-tip sandwiches, and chicken. Um, that being said, you order off the menu and they bring it into you and set you up. Of course, we can do setups with chafing dishes, and then everybody gets either a tri-tip or chicken. I mean, the list goes on. You guys get the idea. Anybody out there that sees this and they're interested in doing that, being there for the weekend and being part of this sponsor hospitality deal, it's gonna cost you. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be cheap, but it's affordable. And for this caliber of an event and this caliber of a service, well worth it. And I've seen this done many times in many venues, and we're going to keep it very affordable for you guys so that uh, you can enjoy it and not have to give up the kids' tuition to do it. But listen, you guys, you high rollers out there, come on now, you guys can do it. It's something you can probably swing and write off and bring your people down that you want to impress and have a good time with them at the races and the truck competition, the events that are going to be going on this weekend. No races this time, but well, sort of. In the events we're doing, there are going to be timed competitions on the finals, on the excuse me, on the time trials on Saturday, and then we're going to go head to head on Sunday. So, a lot going on and a lot to process. Get back to us if you guys want. You can get a hold of me. Easiest if you get a hold of me and leave it off Dan's plate so he doesn't have to stray from what he's trying to get accomplished right now, which he just got thrown a huge curveball, and that's to get through this deal he's going through down there right now with possibly being evacuated from his home. And again, he's all packed up and ready to go. They got 2 cars down there. Both of them are filled up with all the absolute most important things that they need to keep 10-4 going and themselves going and get out of there and not have to leave that stuff behind. So anyway, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. First being the Friday, you guys get moved in, and the 2nd and 3rd will be the show and the events and everything that's going to be going on. I can't wait for this thing to start getting super momentum and steam. The post that we put up the last week got a lot of traction. We're excited about that. You guys did a great job sharing. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate the heck out of that. All right. I have something. I'm not going to bring it up yet, but I have a preview for you of the July 2024 cover of 10-4 magazine waiting. I'm looking right at it, man, and it's badass. Some of you are going to recognize it. Some of you are going to, I'm going to give you a clue. Some of you are going to wish you were at Trucking for Kids if you weren't, because you would have been able to check this rig out. It was there and it was standing tall and looking awesome as heck. It's one of the ones, another clue. Another clue is that this is one of the trucks that we featured in a live stream on Sunday. So that might be another tell for some of you, but it pays to watch, pay attention, and be a fan of 10-4 magazine. And that way you can be in the know when I have stuff like this on Studio 10-4 Live and we do the live streams from the shows. So I'll have that for you here shortly. Was going to have our cover guy on the magazine today. That's Travis. Y'all got your copies by now, I'm sure. And by the way, the reason we're going to have a preview of the new magazine cover is because it comes out tomorrow. So Travis couldn't make it. He is busy, and this seems to be happening a lot, which I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but if you're working, it's good. Hopefully you're making money. If you're so busy that you just all you can do is work, sometimes that makes it pretty tough. But thinking about you, Travis, and if you're watching the show, listening, we'll get you in here one of these days and have a chance to meet you and introduce you to everybody and talk about you and your truck. And congratulations for making it on the cover. Welcome to the family. Wish I could have told you that in person here today, but we understand. And my other guest that was going to be on, same thing, too busy, is Mario Manette, and that is, of course, Mario's High Performance Diesel, who is putting on Alberta Diesel Day and sponsoring today's show. So, Mario, I know you're probably going crazy, and you might have had a chance to turn the show on and listen to us here, but if not, hope you're getting through everything you need to get done, and we'll catch up with Mario. And I already talked to Mario about this. We're going to catch up to Mario next Wednesday and have him on the show and do a wrap of Alberta Diesel Day and tell us how it went up there in Alberta, Canada, and what the show was like and what everything that happened was going on was like. So look forward to that being the show next week. That being said, stuff going on in our world right now, and let's put it this way, stuff that may interest you, it certainly interests me. Some of it very formatively are things or people that are in some way a part of my life, have been or continue to be so. So I hope I share those commonalities with some of you. One of them is John Force, and I don't know how many of you are NHRA fans, but John was in a horrendous crash Sunday in the first round of the eliminations, and in fact, I'm bringing it up right now, just to kind of get a look at it. But if you haven't seen the crash, it was one of the worst I've ever seen. Um, he won the race, so he made it into the next round. Of course, the next round he didn't make it into the next round to actually run because he was in the hospital. But the guy that would have been running against him got a pass and went to the next round himself. But John's car, as he got to or crossed the finish line, I can't recall which it is, exploded. Car veered all the way across the center line to the other side of the track and into the K rail, and then came back over again across to the other K rail and hit it, and then finally came to a stop. And when this thing hit the first K rail, it was such a tremendous impact that the car just it collapsed. And I mean, it was like somebody just took the cap off the bottle and let all the air out of this thing, and I mean, it just collapsed into pieces, and it's very telling to watch it because you can see there's quality of the camera work was pretty freaking awesome. That he stayed intact inside the car. Ultimately, got him out of the car when the safety patrol got there, put him on a gurney, and hauled his ass out of there to the hospital. Flew him out on a medevac chopper, and as they flew that one out, they had another one, I guess, to come in. Can't have the races happening without one on standby. And he's still in there, ICU, I believe, and under observation. And we're sending prayers and thoughts and hopes to John, and that he gets well, and that whatever injuries he sustained and things that happen aren't too serious. But man, I don't care if you're a 20-year-old man, or in his case, John's um, 70 or 75-year-old. I can't remember now. Somebody help me out with that one. You know, listen, most guys are that age and they're so frail. You know, some of them can barely get around and walk. John's going 330 miles an hour in 3.75 seconds or whatever it is that they go down, or less. 332s, I think, actually. I don't know. Anyway, just an incredible thing to see and witness, and of course, it was quite emotional for folks because he is such a beloved and well known guy, winningest funny car uh, champion of all time. He's won more races than anybody, more championships than anybody. Don't expect anybody to catch him uh, unless they're going to start out young and be around a long time. And Austin Prock's doing a good job of that. Hey, Peter, good to have you on the show, buddy. Austin Prock actually, spoiler alert, by the way, spoiler alert. Austin won the funny car eliminations on Sunday. So he is off to a fantastic start, stepping in for Robert Height, who is out with a medical condition that we have no idea what it is because they haven't made a press release to explain to anybody. And whatever it is, he's keeping it private and hoping that he gets well and can get back to what he loves to do as well, and that is racing these cars. In the meantime, they took Austin out of the Top Fuel dragster and moved him into Robert Height's car that he runs normally, and and put him into play, and been a good choice. John has done the Force Racing has done very well with him. So other people, big names to me that are a part of my life, and somebody, and if listening to baseball fans out there, you can't help but know we lost one of the greatest, if not, and by many accounts, the greatest to ever play the game, and Willie Mays, San Francisco Giant. Willie Mays passed away. Um, he was one of those guys I think we all thought, and I heard so many say it, that he was going to live forever. He was I think 93 years old, and uh, man, that's up there. And he's done a few things in his time, but my connection to these guys, like, yeah, he's a baseball player. Some of you might be like, I don't know the guy. He seems like plays pro ball. So what? The reason there's such a connection for a lot of us to a lot of these people, even though you might only see them on the TV, some of us, or you may have met them in real life, and you used to go to their games or their competitions or whatever it was that they did. And for me, it was I used to go to Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California, with my dad to the Giants back in the '60s, and every year we would go to the doubleheader games, and they don't do those hardly if ever anymore. But the doubleheaders, there was several of them during the year, and Dad thought that was the best deal. Let's go to the doubleheader, and they were on a Saturday, and this is back when you used to be able to bring ice chests, whatever you wanted in the ice chest. Guys were hanging out smoking cigarettes and cigars, and it was a party, but it was on anyway, whole different whole different atmosphere than what you see now. I will say this, that some things have changed in probably for the better for a lot of folks. Nobody's smoking cigarettes and cigars. Me, I'd love to be able to hang out and smoke a cigar. A cigarette, not so much, and I wouldn't want to smell one either. But um, the beer thing used that people would bring in all their own food, their own beer, their own soda. It was just a whole different deal. But those were the days of Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Juan Marshall, Gaylord Perry, Tito Fuentes, Bobby Bonds, Barry's dad, Dave Kingman. Um, oh man, who am I leaving out? Chris Spire. And Giants fans, man, you guys are probably going, JT knows his Giants. Yeah, well, I used to go to the games all the time, and I met a lot of those guys because, and this is where it gets really awesome. We had the box behind the Giants dugout. And this was back when the Giants used to have their dugout on the first base side, not the third base side like they have now since they've been over in the new park. And the box behind the Giants dugout was the Pabst Blue Ribbon beer box. My dad was able to get those tickets from the distributor for those games every year, and we were in the PBR booth. So for me, that's kind of funny because I'm a PBR guy and I love my Pabst Blue Ribbon. And I met some of the guys that I had mentioned, and my greatest dumb move of all time, and I got to rope my dad in, throw him under the bus a little bit on this one. I got a baseball one time at the game, signed by all the guys, Gaylord Perry, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey. The list goes on of everybody that signed that ball. Man, I was just a kid. I wasn't even, shoot, I might have been 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever years old I was. I was more more happy about and thrilled that I got a baseball. I just didn't get that I had it signed by these guys, and that really meant something. And my dad, I guess he thought, well, John, you're so thrilled with the baseball, I'm just going to let you have that. And yeah, Jamie, here comes the clincher on that one. No, I do not have that baseball. I played catch with that baseball at my home in Carmel Valley, California, and I lost it. And trust me, I looked and looked and looked and couldn't find it. and yet, even if I had, I would have just kept playing catch with it. My dad should have took that thing, gave me another one, and said, "Hey, here you go, and here's your ball back, or here's the ball you got." Anyway, I probably would have been completely fine with it, but no, I got that ball. It was handed to me by Gaylord Perry. He's the guy. He was the pitcher, one of the pitchers at the time, and Gaylord is gone now too, and so are most of these other guys. Willie's, both of them are gone. I don't know about Marshall. I'm not sure if Juan Marshall's still with us or not. Anyway, Bobby Bonds gone, of course. Tito Fuentes, don't know, man. He was one of the fastest guys out there. Dave Kingman, I don't know. Um, yeah, some of the other guys there on the team that were big names, I can't think of right now, but I'm sure most of them are gone now. And anyway, that so my point of all that is there's the connection. You have these connections to people sometimes, and a lot of us don't get to have that, and some of us do. Some of us view them on a screen. Hey, back in those days, man, we were watching on a little black and white TV at home. We'd watch the games. There was no color TV. Hell, we didn't even have cable. And when we got cable, oh man, I thought the world just blew up in front of me, and all of a sudden I'm looking at stuff from all over the world. The stations are all over the state, coming in on cable, and holy crap, it was like and again, I'm a little kid. It was a big deal, and hindsight 2020 always. Hi Ingrid, good to have you on the show. Kim, nice to have Kim on the show. The connections are real for some of us, whether it's in real life or not. And I'll tell you, as it is now, all these years later, after my in real life connection to Willie Mays, throughout the years, I've always enjoyed watching him appear during Giants games or at the park, and he shows up, whatever the case may be. Uh, but the TVs now, man, I'll tell you, you're as close to being to them in real life as you can be without being there on some of the televisions we have to watch, and the quality of the picture that's there, and the sound, the whole thing. So exciting stuff. Unfortunate that we lost that what they are now, and everybody is saying is we lost our champion, and that was the champion of the baseball world and the San Francisco Giants. So another guy that left us last week, Donald Sutherland. Man, I don't know how many of y'all remember Donald Sutherland and his contributions to movies. Always thought he was a great guy, fun to watch. Uh, non-political. Oh, holy hell! How about that? The guy just did what he did, man. If he ever had done anything political, never saw it, never heard about it. As far as I know, the guy just did his job. He was an actor. He entertained. He got paid. We were happy to watch him, and there was never any opinions formed after the movie was over. It was whoever he was as a character in that movie. That's who he was that day. And I've seen him in many movies. One of my most favorite of all time, and it's pretty tight. There's two that are pretty close to each other, but MASH is definitely one of them, and the other is Kelly's Heroes. So if you've never seen Kelly's Heroes, you need to check that out because you're going to love the cast in there. Clint Eastwood, Donald Sutherland, Don Rickles, Telly Savalas. List goes on. There's a lot of great stars in that movie, and it's a World War II Clint Eastwood classic, man, and Telly Savalas in there, and Donald Sutherland. Donald Sutherland plays Oddball. He's a tank commander, and he goes into business with Kelly, who's played by Clint Eastwood, to go behind enemy lines and capture what's inside of a bank in Germany during World War II. So a lot of fun. It's on, I believe it's on Amazon. I've bought it. I've got it in VCR. I've got it in DVD, and which I don't have access to either of those of mine right now. So I have it purchased, I believe, on my Amazon account. But great movie, and Donald Sutherland's been in so many different movies. Like I said, MASH and Kelly's Heroes, they're probably kind of right there with each other. A lot of fun, both movies, and MASH, the original movie, not the show, guys, not the TV show, the movie, um, was really a quite a movie of its time, because the 70s were weird. I mean, they were. No, the 70s were weird for movies, for TV, um, for music. I mean, there was some great music in there too, man. There was great music, but there was a lot of weird stuff going on, man. The easy listening and disco stuff. Some of it was, there was just some weird stuff going on. And some of the movies of the 70s, they were so B that they might not even have been rated as a B movie. Some of them were lucky if they were a D. And I'm a kid going to the movies, and hell, I don't know what it is. I pay my quarter, go see a movie to be entertained and watch whatever's in front of me. And some of it was just awful. And a lot of those are still around and available for our entertainment to see and watch now, with all of the different movie uh, services that are out there. And man, there is a bunch. So um, anytime you want to watch anything, you pretty much can. And if you've got, your phone, you can talk to your phone and say, "Hey, I want to watch this movie," and it'll tell you all the different services that have it right now, and whether it's for free or you got to pay. So you got a way to go out there and you can watch it. All of a sudden, you just get a Jones for Kelly's Heroes. Okay, how do I watch Kelly's Heroes? Ask your phone, and it'll tell you. And then hopefully you've got the app that it's on, and you can tune in and watch it. Uh, we're pretty connected in a lot of ways to a lot of different things. And like I was saying, it's all about the connection for me and everybody else that has any emotional tie to any of these people that I'm talking about, whether it's an performer, actor, entertainer, musician, uh, sports star, baseball, football, whatever yours, hell, bowling. I used to watch bowling because my dad was a bowler and so was I. So bowling back in the day, man, that was, on Saturday, Wide World of Sports. But before Wide World of Sports, every Saturday was bowling. And you had Chris Schenkel and the young guy, I can't remember his name right now, that were the announcers for the bowling every Saturday. And maybe that's where a lot of my interest in all of that stuff comes through, is because I spent so much time in front of the TV, which there was a lot. So anyway, the world keeps changing. We're still here, and you know what? Thanks for you guys being here and always tuning in with us on Wednesday. It makes it worth it, and it makes it fun. And I hope I share some stuff that is of some kind of interest to you. And if you guys have anything you want me to share with you and talk about, man, send me an email or a text, whatever you want to do, and we'll bring it in there, as well as guests too. I'd love to see who you guys want to have on the show as a guest. Now, as I was stating, we have a preview of the July 2024 cover of 10-4 magazine. If you were at Trucking for Kids, this truck was there, and you're going to recognize it as soon as I put it up there. If you weren't at Trucking for Kids, shame on you. You better have a good excuse, and you better not miss Trucking for Kids 2025. But this truck, I also did a walk around live stream of it and featured it. So if you see the cover and you go, "Man, I want to see what the rest of that truck looks like inside and out," you can go over to our YouTube channel. You can go over to our Facebook page, and it's there for you. Without further ado, I give you the July 2024 cover 10-4 magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, Rod Pickett's Defining West Coast Cool. and that is one cool RV. I'm telling you, man. Uh, that thing has got everything a guy could want, and especially for a retired truck driver. I'm just saying, if you're a retired truck driver and you just still want to drive your truck, but you just don't want to go out there and grind like you had to before, this probably is the thing for you. And again, he was at Trucking for Kids, had it all opened up and sharing it with everybody at the show. Check it out, and it will be out in your mailbox if you subscribe to 10-4 Magazine. If you don't, go to 10-4magazine.com and get your subscription today. As always, they will be delivered to you in a clear plastic sleeve and protected so that you get it just as fresh and nice as the day it was printed. Mine came, in fact, when I got it, this was the first time that I got it in the plastic because I only, in fact, I'm holding it up, but I'm not live right now. I got it in the plastic sleeve because I'm not getting a 5-pack anymore right now. But the single magazine comes in that, and it's clear plastic, make everybody jealous of what you're going to get first, before, and ahead of everyone else. So, congratulations to Rod Pickett, and I know he loves this thing, and it's quite the deal for him to be out driving around in and vacationing in. But Dan and Shan took the trip down there to do the photo shoot, and you guys will be able to see this very, very soon. The magazine comes out. The new magazine comes out tomorrow, and then the roll to racks and delivery to people who subscribe, and the website update will all happen as we get a little further along with things. So, all right, congratulations. One more time, I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. Also want to share this one more time going on, and that is Alberta Diesel Day going on this Saturday, the 29th, and that is in Alberta, Canada. And that's going to be put on by Mr. Mario Manette himself. That's Mario's High Performance Diesel. And Double D Mechanical Inc. Also involved on that, bringing that show to you. They're going to have a very well attended, apparently, show this weekend. Like I said, thousands of spectator tickets already sold. All the guys that show up at pretty much all the guys, I think all of them, and then some, are going to be up there racing this weekend. The guys that show up at Trucking for Kids every year and have been doing the NHRDA circuit and all that, they're all going to be up there this weekend. Coming up in November, of course, is going to be the first annual 10-4 Trucker Rodeo and Show. We're slowly getting all of the assets together for you guys so that you can get registered, tickets, all that stuff. And none of it's out yet, but it's coming. And as soon as it does, I'll let you know. We do have a link on the website that is available to check out, but it just takes you to a, hey, we're getting it ready, going to be done soon. So keep checking, and basically we'll have it ready soon. But again, those dates, November 2nd and 3rd, with us taking possession of the track on November 1st, so that we can get you guys in and parked. And there's pretty much unlimited, and I mean unlimited, space for people to park RVs, spectators to park and come and view the show. Whether you're coming one day or two, there's just nothing but space out there for us to do what we're going to do, and we're going to do a lot. So if you're interested, also, again, if you're interested in the luxury suite availability, get hold of me and I will get you taken care of on that. We're working out the final details of what that's going to be inclusive of and how much it's going to cost. We'll go from there and kind of develop that more as time goes on, but we're going to get grinding on this here real soon. If you want to sponsor events, that's the big deal. If you want to sponsor an event, whether it's the backing contest, hay squeeze contest, the wrecking contest, which I mean wreckers, we're going to have live wreckers out there, transfer dump contest, and yeah, we've got some people that are already kind of earmarked for some of this stuff. So this is all based on availability. Get a hold of me so we can get you hooked up and get it done before it's all gone, because there's only so many events that can be sponsored, And then after that, we're going to have to figure out something else for you guys that want to get your business out there, whether it's banners and other competitions. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet. We're still making it kind of up as we go. But for the most part, we got a pretty good plan of what we're going to do and how it's going to be. So thanks, guys, for hanging in there with me. Ingrid, good to have you on the show. I just read Ingrid's note. Yeah, awesome. Everybody else, guys, have a great weekend. Got 4th of July coming up next week, and we're going to have Mario on next Wednesday to talk about what Alberta Diesel Day was like up there and everything that happened. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Keep the shiny side up as always. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. And keep Dan and Shannon your thoughts, guys. Want to make sure that best possible outcome for them, and that would be that they don't have to leave and the fires stay away. So, all right, guys, talk to you next week.